Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We're your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing this week?
Well, Tyler, there's a chill running up my spine this week, so you could definitely say I'm chilling during this spooky season.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky with a real-life pandemic going on. And,
Yeah.
since no one you shouldn't be going out drinking with your costume, you may need some horror movies to pass the time. So we've come up with a few selections. We will quickly go over why we think you would enjoy them during this period of time, and hopefully you can have some good scares. So, pretty simple. I'll start it off with you, Mike. What's one of your picks?
Well, something I have not really talked about just yet. This is definitely more suspenseful horror, more situational horror, where the directors rely on silence as the main kind of thing. That there's no real music in it, stuff like that. It definitely gets you uneasy feeling throughout the entire movie. And this is definitely an older one, but it's still a solid pick. It is Don't Breathe, a story of three burglars that break into this old guy's house thinking that he's going to be a quick target because his daughter was killed by a drunk driver and got a whole bunch of money in a lawsuit, but we'll get into that later. I'm not going to go into full spoilers, but essentially, this guy's house that they break into is a badass war vet from Vietnam, and even though he's blind, he is a formidable enemy against the trifecta of burglars. So it's kind of hard to judge who you're voting for here, because at first glance, like, all right, why am I rooting for burglars who are breaking into a blind war vet's house? Well, that's because the blind war vet's also, let's just say, there's more to him than meets the eye. He's a sick man. So
Ooh, what a
definitely,
pun.
yeah, definitely uneasy watching. It definitely keeps you tense on the edge of your seat throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely recommend that being a watch.
Stephen Lang is the guy for that one, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I haven't seen the first one, though I've heard good things about it. I did read that they've already filmed the second one.
Oh, I was like, wait. There's more.
Yeah, well, apparently, whenever this pandemic is over, yes, they'll release a second one.
Okay, interesting.
Because I remember seeing that a few days ago. But yeah, I'll definitely have to get around to watching that. My first pick is a classic, and I would say these days is not a horror movie. But look, you're at this point, everyone's probably looking for stuff to watch. Why not revisit some classics? So, Creature of the Black Lagoon. I think it's more of like almost family-friendly horror movie at this point. But hey, it's a classic
Wow.
Universal monster. It's interesting to see what they had during what I think was the mid to late 30s or early 40s. But I watched it last year for Halloween. Got a nice steelbook with it, and I had a good time watching it, even though the movie's like 70 years old, 80 years at this point. But yeah, definitely, that's one of my picks. Definitely, if you have a crowd with you.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a old time horror movie. It's one of the classic Universal horror movies,
Mm-hmm.
alongside Bela Lugosi's Dracula, Frankenstein,
Wolfman.
Wolfman, Invisible Man, which segues into my next movie, the remake of The Invisible Man, the 21st century take on the classic horror icon story. And what do I say about this movie? It was very well done. That's a start. And goddamn with the tension in that movie, because you have no idea if he's there or is he not there. Is he there? Is he not there? And the whole movie just goes on with that, where you don't know when he's going to pop out. You don't know where exactly he is. So it's very suspenseful. There's a lot of classic horror elements to it. But yeah, I definitely recommend that one to anyone who's a fan of suspenseful horror movies rather than just the slasher gore and all that jazz.
Okay. Yeah. So my second pick is, unlike the more family-friendly Black Lagoon movie, let's go into just straight up gore porn with Hostel. Directed by Eli Roth, who you may have known from other movies in that type. The first Hostel is, I think, about 15 years old now at this point. It was a mid-2000 film. But
Yeah, it's rough.
it's a rough movie. So unlike the other one, where if you're having people over, watch that, have a good time. This is if you just want to look at like gory shit. Like if you want to feel disgusted watching a movie for Halloween, uh, go right ahead. You have your classic setup. Group of people, traveling Europe to go to a place. They think it's safe to get lured in. Turns out it's not safe. And then after that, it's you try to see how they escape while being tortured. So I would recommend not eating
Yeah,
before
that's
watching this
definitely
movie.
a rough movie.
Yeah,
That's definitely a rough movie to watch. Whew. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a couple scenes in there. I'm not a very squeamish person. I'm fine with seeing people's heads ripped off, blown off, arms cut off, sawed in half, all that jazz. But the minute you start lifting up finger and toenails and slicing Achilles tendons, that's where I'm tapping out. For
I
some
think
reason,
for
that's my
me,
trigger.
it's the slow,
That's my
like
trigger right there.
it's the slow burn of a torture. Like you can torture someone by chopping off an arm, get it over with, fine. But you take each individual finger, or like the fingernails, like you said, the slow burn of that. I just can't watch that. It's too much.
Oh yeah, it's oof. No, thank you.
What do you got for your final pick?
Well, see, this is a tricky one because do I want to go the gory route or do I want to go the more silly gory route?
I mean,
Because
you've
I
been
got
pretty
one for
serious in your
each.
movies, so maybe let's go silly
All
gory.
right. So if we're going silly gory, we're gonna have to go with Hatchet. Hatchet is a B series horror franchise, which is the main antagonist is played by Kane Hodder, who you may also know as the man behind Jason. He is also the man behind Victor Crowley. That being said, Victor Crowley is exactly the same thing as Jason. He is a deformed hillbilly from the bayou. So that's the difference. He's from the bayou and he's more hillbilly. And instead of wearing a hockey mask, he's just got a really fucked up face. But this movie is a lot of fun to watch because it's completely silly, but it's gory and still has all the horror elements. I mean, this guy's out here with power sanders, sanding people's faces off, comically long chainsaws that he can saw 3 guys in a row straight from the groin up.
Jesus
And
Christ.
oh yeah, you got a scene where he completely rips the top of the guy's head off from basically he separates the bottom jaw from the rest of his head and just peels it back like an onion.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you got him ripping arms off and beating people with their own arms, but it's like I said, a lot of this stuff is really fake looking. Like the arm thing, that's really fake looking. I think the funniest thing about this whole franchise to me is, where's your power cord, man? Where the hell are you getting electricity to run these fucking power sanders? Like I've
Batteries.
never seen
It's all
I've
batteries.
never seen a gas power sander before, ever.
Oh, but a battery
I've seen
powered.
I've seen Yeah, okay. Where's he recharging the batteries, Tyler? He lives out in the fucking bayou in a burnt down house.
Fine, fine. Solar. He
Do you
has
go
nothing
into
else to do. He just lets them charge.
All right, maybe we need to see that part of the movie.
Okay, also, I'm
And
sorry. Why are
Victor
you
Crowley goes to
pointing
a low pickup.
the logistics of these tools based on what you said they could do?
I just think that's kind of funny.
Okay. It's like
But
that's how
yeah,
you're
a lot of
poking a
fun to
hole in this
watch.
movie.
Oh, there's a lot of holes to be poked in this movie, but like I said, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's not to take too seriously or to get frightened over, but it's a fun watch.
All right. I guess in that vein, for me, my final pick is, I'll admit, I've only seen this once when I was a bit younger, so maybe I'm remembering it a bit wrong. But I would say as a more horror action and then like kind of funny is Freddy versus Jason. You have
Ooh.
two Hollywood horror icons in a battle movie where they try to kill each other. So it's not as horror as their individual movies, but just the fact seeing both in one movie, from what I remember, it's definitely better than Alien versus Predator. So,
Alien versus Predator 2. Alien versus Predator 1 was pretty good.
yeah, I'll admit that one was okay, but yeah, the sequel, oof.
Oh yeah,
But
that was bad. You
yeah,
couldn't even see the movie that was happening in front of your eyes. You're like,
yeah,
I think this is what's going on. It's so damn dark. Do they invest in any lighting at all here, or
I
like
mean
what?
that's how to save money,
Yeah, because they
right?
don't have to do special effects. They're
No,
just like, yeah, they can think something's there, but nothing's actually. We actually got
but
a dwarf running around in an alien costume.
yeah, Freddy vs. Jason, it's definitely a good time. Have a couple beers, watch the movie. Yeah, some of it's cheesy at this point, but get a couple good scenes, couple laughs.
Oh yeah, the movie itself was entertaining.
Yeah,
I still have fun watching that one.
I remember
Um,
watching a clip on YouTube back when they were promoting the movie, Comic-Con, where people used to actually come together,
back
and
in those days.
yeah, the before times, and they had Freddy come out and basically doing like a wrestling promo, talking shit on Jason. Like, the way they marketed this
Yeah.
movie too was pretty good.
Oh, it was great. I mean, that movie took like 10 years to make because
Mhm.
it went through a lot of script rewrites, studios backing out, and then New Line Cinema is what picked it up.
I'm still waiting for that sequel they teased at the end.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting that, even though it would be awesome.
It would be.
Because I did have a lot of fun with that movie. It didn't take itself too seriously. Its whole point was to pit Freddy versus Jason together. And yeah, the characters completely sucked. You didn't really root for any of them. But that whole fight scene at the end was awesome. It is every second worth waiting for watching the entire shitty movie up until that end fight. That end fight made the movie.
Yeah, which is all you can ask for. Like, who cares if the regular characters caught in the middle of this, like, have no writing whatsoever and are complete shit? It's like, these two are the main stars. If they work, it all works.
Yeah, they relied heavily too much on the ragdoll effect in that movie, where like you get hit with the machete and you go flying 30 fucking feet.
Well, it's all about the gravity, your force of gravity.
Yeah.
So
yeah, at that moment you're shifted on one side, so you're falling further.
Of course, it's all physics. You've taken physics.
Yeah.
We all took high school physics.
Absolutely.
But yeah, those are our picks for the Halloween season. Still got a few weeks left, and yeah. If anyone else has Halloween picks they would like to offer up on what we should watch, or if anyone else listening should watch, where can they let us know?
As always, we are delighted to hear what you guys have to offer. The one thing we don't want to hear about is a Serbian film. That being said, you can always find us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Type it in, Entertainment Expansion. Give us a like, give us a follow. Check out our other videos. If you are new to the channel, you can check back a year ago. We also have another Halloween episode. So we have a couple more movies listed on there as well if you want to give that a watch. And then, yeah, like Tyler said, feel free to send us a list of any movies you think we should check out or mention. As always, thank you for listening.